Welcome, everybody, to your WWE Fastlane preview and predictions. And hey, John, just to be clear, you did know that we had a WWE pay-per-view tomorrow, right?
I forgot several times, but yeah, going live with this, I remember. Yeah, barely, but I remember.
Yeah. It's funny because it seems like WWE didn't even remember until this Monday when they started actually, making matches for this show because finally we actually know some matches for this card. So as far as the card goes, I'm only seeing 5 matches actually official for this. And I got to tell you, man, I'm not really overly enthusiastic about any of them at all. So I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm very curious to find out.
Oh, look, I don't mean to say this to be vitriolic, but if I was to put a number to this feeling, as you know I like to do, I would give this maybe a 4 out of 10.
Oh my god, we
Um,
had the same number in our minds for once. Holy shit. There was
because
no I'm a half a point lower than you. I just had a 4 in my head.
because here's the thing, for me, now this may be where you and I diverge. I do think Shinsuke Seth is going to be a great match, and I want to emphasize a great match because we'll unpack it probably very quickly. I even told you before we went live, this is going to be a speed run on the preview predictions. And then, yeah, I like LWO and I like Lashley's new faction, but I'm going to use the line here officially that I've been using with you in the Discord in a broader sense. This feels like just a glorified TV card. Like, I feel like if you were doing a Raw Super Show or a SmackDown Super Show, this whole card I feel like could be on there and not feel out of place. Nothing about this screams premium live event to me. I mean, hell, if you want me to be brutally honest, NXT this coming Tuesday feels more like a premium live event with who's gonna be there seemingly compared to this fucking show. So yeah, I'm at a 4 out of 10. Not because anything's offensive on this to me or grown worthy or anything like that, but it just feels so basic and it doesn't feel like a premium live event at all.
It
What about you?
feels like a filler pay-per-view to, in quintessence basically. It's like
Yes.
they're really like, guys, we just had SummerSlam, we've got a crown jewel coming up, and even after that we've got Survivor Series. We don't want to put effort into this. Are you kidding me? We're getting ready to go over to Saudi Arabia, and then we're gonna have Phil coming back for Survivor Series.
Which that's going to be a whole other conversation that I am not ready to have with you today, but we are going to have it eventually. Um, so let's fucking speed run this, dude. Let's
Let's
just get through this
go.
damn card.
Well, there is a 6-man tag team match and a tag team match on this show, both of which have no titles on the line. So I say we get through those first. First of all, John Cena and LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. I know that they're probably going to end up having this match main event the whole show if I had to guess. But it doesn't matter to either one of us, and it really doesn't matter actually in like the long-term booking of the overall stories, because it doesn't matter who wins this match because Roman isn't involved in it at all.
Cena and Knight win. It's that simple. Like I said, speed run. I'm really
Probably,
not going to give
yeah.
this more than it
Probably.
deserves.
I
Yeah.
hadn't even really given it much thought, but now that you say it, yeah. I mean, yeah, the babyface is going over on the filler pay per view that might as well be the pay per view equivalent of a house show. Makes sense. We've got the LWO, but it's interesting because it's Ray and Escobar with TBD versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Is it probably safe to assume at this point that it's going to be Dragon Lee?
Probably, and that makes me give slight pause to thinking that maybe they'll win. But you know what? Bobby Lashley and Street Profits just got back on the same page. I don't think you'd want to undo that a second time. So
Yeah.
I'm still going to say Lashley and Co. win.
Yeah, it's weird though because we had a thing tonight where Dragon Lee and Cameron Grimes were kind of buddy buddy, and I was kind of hoping that we would get a tag match added to this show where it was L.A. Knight or not L.A. Knight. I'm sorry. Um, these
Grimes.
douchebag types just all run together for me. Grayson Waller and
Okay.
Austin Theory versus Cameron Grimes and Dragon Lee. I thought that would be a really cool addition to the show.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't see it on the card officially. I'm hoping that it gets added. Maybe it'll just get added on the pre-show, honestly. That seems like the type of move they would do for this show. We'll see. If that does happen, though, who would you expect TBD to be?
Carlito, maybe? Because I heard a few
Oh,
months
that
ago
would
that he
be
was
a
going to come
cool
back.
little treat for the crowd, yeah. That would be a
So,
cool treat for the crowd, yeah.
so Carlito will be my best guess, bro. But I'm
I
still going
love
to go
that.
with Lashley and True Profits.
Because he is officially signed with the company, isn't he?
I thought he was, unless it
Yeah,
was just a rumor.
that would be perfect. I love that. I'm going to sign on to that for you, or with you, rather. Okay, so next we have a tag title match. Judgment Day, Balor and Priest versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. My gut, everything on my inside, my giblies are telling me that Cody and Jay are winning this title, or these titles.
God, I'm gonna be the difficult one and say Judgment Day retains.
No,
But
I
you know
don't
what
think
though?
that's you being the difficult one. I think that I just need to learn, like, the giblies are my WWE pessimism talking.
Well, no, see, I don't blame you though. Well, here's me defending you, right? I don't blame you for making that prediction only because it seems like the broader story is like the moment you think Judgment Day is okay, they're not.
Yeah.
Like there's very clearly a lot of tension in the group. My counterpoint though, because I actually am trying to bring reason to these, even though I want to go as quickly as possible. Um, I do think JD McDonough's just going to help him because Priest is the hardest one to win over. And I think him helping Priest and Finn beat a team the caliber, at least individually, of Jay and Cody coming together is finally going to win Priest over and be like, okay, McDonough, are you all right? So, yeah, I'm just going to go with the Judgment Day to retain because of JD McDonough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, next.
All right. Which one would you rather talk about last? The women's title with Io defending against Asuka and Charlotte, or the men's title, Seth and Shinsuke?
Io, because I think she's one of the better champions in the company right now that appears on a regular basis. So we'll give
That's
her the respect she
probably,
deserves.
yeah. Okay, so let's get into it then.
Again, man, I'm going to be really quick about this. Seth retains because if I could just say very quickly before I give the ball to you, why I emphasize this should be a good match. I think these two will work a really nice last man standing match. I think they'll really tell a good story with Seth's back and everything else. But I think Seth is in that kind of era right now in his babyface run where he's like overcoming the odds, right? But here's the other interesting thing, and I was thinking about this today. I do wonder if WWE is kind of riffing on AEW a bit, and they want to tell us a more story with Seth that AEW was seemingly telling with Orange Cassidy, where it's like, oh, Seth's doing all these defenses, but now people know about his back, and
Yeah, it
Shinsuke's
would be
targeting the back.
really funny if WWE basically pulled like a Marvel, where like there's like this meme where with all of these Marvel characters, there was always going to be a DC character that came first that Marvel copied, but Marvel
Yeah,
just did it better. And so,
right.
like, if WWE pulls a Marvel where they do the Orange Cassidy storyline and they just straight up jack that, they just do it better because AEW paid it off so incredibly poorly. Like, the worst I've seen.
Yeah, and dude, look, the only other thing I'll say about this, because I don't want to talk too long, and I do want you to talk, is that like I'd love for Shinsuke to win. You and I are Shinsuke fans. I think he's put the time in the company. I think he deserves a world title run, and they're going to be doing a show in Japan very soon. However, it just came out that Seth's doing good numbers, and people are very happy with him as champion. And he's always been a company guy, and in my mind, the company guy always fucking wins. So I'm just going to say Seth retains.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sign on. Honestly, I think Seth retaining, I should say, makes the most sense. This is a last man standing match. That is worth noting, and I
Yes.
think that makes it even more likely that Seth retains because last man standing matches, especially in WWE, are such a babyface stip. I can't even remember the last time a heel won a last man standing match in WWE. I don't know if one ever has, honestly.
I can tell you that one has, but I'd have to go back. It would be Edge and Benoit at Backlash '05, and Edge won because he used a brick to the back of Benoit's head to get the 10 count, which is kind of ominous in
Right.
hindsight, but
You know
that's
what?
one of the
I,
few
I
times, yeah.
appreciate your knowledge, but that also almost makes me feel like doubling down because if it takes that level of violence for a heel to win a last man standing match in WWE, that makes it even less likely it's going to happen today because they're not allowed to go that far in WWE anymore.
That is true. Yes, that's just winning, man.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the women. Io defending against Asuka and Charlotte in a triple threat. I mean, I was a little late to point out the step on the last one. I want to get to it right away. This being a triple threat also means there's not going to be any DQs or countouts or anything like that.
I mean, my cynicism, since you were kind of talking about your pessimism and your cynicism earlier, my cynicism always wants to say, LOL, Charlotte wins. But I do think Io retains here. I think the company's probably very happy with her. I've heard she's been doing good numbers, and I don't think you want to rock the boat, something that's already been tested and proven
I've
to
also
be a
seen a lot of
disaster.
reports that WWE's backstage, like the higher ups, just love Io, and
Yeah.
like they see her as one of the pillars of SmackDown right now for real. and that
Yeah.
just makes me feel so warm and happy inside.
Fuck yeah, dude. As it should.
She's
As it
here, man.
absolutely should.
Bro, she is the first ever World of Stardom champion to win a major singles title on the main roster. And she's killing
Yeah.
it, and they love her, and I love that for her.
Yeah, look, bro, to me, and this is going into fantasy booking territory, but I might as well have some fun with this preview predictions because I don't give a fuck about the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah.
To me, Endgame in a beautiful world is Kairi Io WrestleMania. Like that's
Oh,
fucking Endgame to me, bro. Like 100%. And I think you
too
should
far,
stack.
too far.
Oh no, my friend, with these pants, not far enough. But I do think, because you've always been the bigger Io fan between the two of us, but I've always respected the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
And it's out of that respect that I will tell you, you need to stack her the fuck up. I want her to pin Charlotte in this. Like, Asuka's already done the job because Asuka's actually a consummate fucking pro who deserves 2 Hall of Fame rings. One for her NXT run and then one for her main roster run. Fuck you, everyone else. Charlotte can go suck a duck for all I fucking care, and maybe she can be a
Suck a
professional
duck
wrestler
for
for one night.
fucks.
Yeah, and maybe she could be a professional for once in her life and do the fucking job. So Io to retain via pinning Charlotte. That's my fucking sentiments on the matter. What would you like to add?
Well, I'm scared.
You should
Just
be.
full disclosure, I'm scared that they're gonna have Charlotte win here, and then just have her hold the title until like Rumble, because I wouldn't expect her to drop it at Saudi Arabia, and I wouldn't even expect her to defend it at Survivor Series. And then I don't know what would go on at the December pay-per-view, or if there even is going to be a December pay-per-view. And then I feel like Rumble might be when she would lose it. And maybe that would be back to Io, but I really don't know. So that's my biggest fear. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
So really, I'm just like, oh, anyone but Charlotte, honestly. And really, given that Io has only held the title now for what, like 2 months, not even,
Yeah.
like a little
Absolutely.
over 1 month, even like a month and a half ish.
Yeah.
I really just hope she retains and gets to get this run really getting some steam behind it. I would, in a perfect world, to me, Io would hold the title until Mania and get to main event the first night of Mania against the Rumble winner. That's my ideal world. I just feel like that's a lot to ask given who I'm asking it from, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%, bro. 100%. By the way, real quick, just because I like to get all of our ducks in a row, and Super Blue does make a good point. Do you think Priest is cashing in after Last Man Standing? I keep forgetting he even has the fucking briefcase,
I
bro.
feel like
Honest to
I've
God.
said this before. I'm done predicting Priest's cash-ins because I predicted it so many times that it's lost all meaning.
That, you know what? That's fair. I'm gonna try and remember not to ask you going forward. It's kind of second nature for me when we do these. Fuck it. I'll say he will. I'll keep saying he does, and until he does, and it's
Well,
just
yeah,
gonna make
that's
me look
why I don't
stupid.
want to
But
do it anymore,
yeah,
because if I just keep saying he does, and then he finally does, there's no like victory in that because I was wrong 8 times. Like, hooray, I got a 1 in 9 victory. Like that's nothing.
let's not invalidate gambling addicts like that, okay? Everybody needs their
I
big wins
feel like that's
somewhere. I've
exactly
always
what we
loved.
should be doing. Gambling addicts need help, not validation.
That is, you know what? Fair point, but I'm still gonna say that he's cashing in. I'm sorry for the mixed messages. I'm complex, okay?
Wow.
So he's because no, Super Blue does make a point where I feel like this would be the best time for Priest to cash. I'll tell you what. I'll make you a promise right now. If Priest does not cash in here, I will join you in never predicting again. I think I'm only doing it one last time because Last Man Standing does make a lot of sense for a heel to pick the bones. It's the same way when a heel would cash in after a chamber or some shit. Really brutal match types, especially when the baby faces triumph, you drive the wind out of their sails by having the heel then pick the scrap. So I actually will say yes, just given precedent. But if it's not now, then I'm just going to stop predicting too, because I've already forgotten that he holds the briefcase at times just because I'm so busy fixated on them squabbling. But back to more important things like Io. Do you have anything else you want to say about this triple threat?
Um, Part of me kind of thinks that Io is going to just be able to retain because Asuka and Charlotte have been like having each other's backs and they're both in the match already, which is going to allow Bayley and Dakota to help Io from the outside. And Charlotte and Asuka aren't going to have any help from the outside because they're already in the match. And the only help that they've had has been each other, you know?
True.
So it kind of makes me feel like picking Io really does stay safe.
Yeah.
Um, But I do think that they might build towards some kind of like War Games type thing for Survivor Series, where we get like Io, Bailey, and then some other group of women, maybe one, two, or three, I don't know, versus Charlotte, Asuka, Shotzi, and then one or two other women.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I actually like that idea.
I wish Dakota would be able to be healthy before then, but I think she's gearing up for a Rumble return.
Yeah, yeah, I
So,
could see where you're
so
coming
yeah,
with that.
we'll have to wait and see. I'm curious how they go about it. I don't even know for sure if that's the direction they'll go. Honestly, it's kind of up in the air, but we'll see. I think we're done here, though. I think we're through everything we needed to get through.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get out of here. My hype stays at a 4 to 10. Fuck LA Blight. Blah. Go EO. We're rooting for you. Kind of hope Priest cashes in. If Nakamura's just not going to win the title because I like Seth, but also no.
More like
And I really
LA
can't think.
trite. Am I right?
I'm so happy you were a part of it, and not only were you a part of it, you actually made a worthwhile contribution. You know what I am right now? Proud of you. Hold on to that feeling. All right. So while he's doing that, I'm going to take us home. Guys, be sure to leave a like if you file out, subscribe with the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that to all goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. Ashton, not to put you on the spot, but can I just say that we're going to take reacting to this off the schedule since neither one of us really gives a shit about this pay-per-view? Or did you actually want to check out any of these matches?
Oh, I was
Just to
gonna
make it.
actually. You know what? It's my fault that I just completely forgot about even having this discussion. But I did want to have a discussion with you about if there was anything on the show you wanted to react to. I kind of wanted to react to the women's triple threat and the LWO match.
I was kind of feeling last man standing. I just feel like Seth's gonna win, and then the only thing worthwhile would
See,
be
no,
if
last
Priest
man
cashes
standing
in.
matches in WWE piss me off, so I definitely don't want to do that. I mean, if you want to watch it, I'm not opposed. I can find other things to do while you watch it, but I definitely don't want to react to that because it did annoy me.
An LWO Lashley. You know what? Even though that just feels like such a TV match, we could check that
I'm
out
also
if you
curious
want.
who TBD is, and if it does end up being Carlito, we'd get a lot of views off of that.
True, true. And if it is Dragon Lee, we both like him enough that it's
Yeah, true.
Um, I can agree to those two matches, but God,
I mean,
bro.
dude, if you're opposed to the women's match because of Charlotte, I'm down with literally just doing the LWO match and calling it a night.
You know what though, bro? Like just doing one match, that feels so weird, right? Like at least a minimum of two to get people out of bed. We'll do the fucking women's match because if Charlotte eats the pin, I get to laugh at her failure, and you know how much I love laughing at others. So like, yeah, yeah, no, I think it's worth the risk, says the guy that takes risks that never pay off. So yeah, I guess
Hey,
we'll
that's something we both have in common.
wow, that's so unhealthy. We both need help. Thankfully, you're getting it though. I'm not. But yeah, I guess we'll do. I guess Jesus Christ. I guess we'll do those two matches so you guys can join us. I mean, 8 p.m. is the start time of the pay per view, but we're doing select match reactions, so it could be any time for women's triple threat and yeah, LWO Lashley Street Profits. So yeah. The Super Blue, no, we're not doing that because I will rag on him the whole time and I will make sure that you know it. I will make sure that you know that I am dogging on him the entire time. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Be good to yourselves and each other, all that shit. And we'll see you tomorrow for select match reactions for Fastlane. EO, please, for the love of God, retain because Kylie is waiting for you. I fucking hope. And yeah, Santos, just keep looking like the fucking snack that you are. And yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you then. Tune in. Peace out.